Hi, everyone. It's Angie and Pat with Local Vibes, and we're here today with Josh Link.
What up, what up?
And he is the founder and CEO of Visionary Meals. And actually, I mean, on all your different social media platforms, it shows you're a project manager for Division One Roofing.
Yep.
Yeah. You also own Deliberately Linked Podcast, or co-own that.
Yep.
And Visionary Athletics?
Yeah. Just so, they've definitely got some of the basis there for you guys. First and foremost, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So Visionary Meals, that is my purpose. That is my passion. That is what you guys are probably going to hear the most about today.
Good.
But through my journey of entrepreneurship, there have been other endeavors. So like you just heard, Deliberately Linked was a podcast still on all platforms. So if anybody wants to go check out some of those past episodes, please do. But that did come to a halt. That my partner and I ended up going separate ways just due to other endeavors. And I do actually plan on bringing back a brand new podcast coming sometime in 2024. As some of you are listening today are going to hear, we just stepped foot into our brand new headquarters as a company, which I will definitely touch on. Yeah. And one of the build outs that is coming in phase 2 in our space is going to be a full on podcast studio that we're very excited about.
That'd be so nice.
Podcast is coming back. And then Visionary Athletics, like you guys just heard Angie touch on, I did used to have a sports performance company that I recently walked away from due to just the growth of my other businesses. So I'm very, very happy.
Can't be pulled in 50 different
exactly.
ways.
Can't do it all. And as you guys will hear, I do a lot currently. Division One Roofing also being an endeavor of mine. I'm a lead project manager, basically sales for a roofing company. We specialize in the insurance restoration process. So any nasty
Where are they
storms
based out of?
We're based out of Powell. Based
Okay.
out of the Powell area. So yeah, I do that. It's kind of like a side hustle, and I'm sure I'll touch on that here shortly.
I feel like Kip Payne.
Yeah.
I feel like
Kip.
that's how this got started.
Yeah, did you guys have an opportunity to get shoot
Oh,
with
yeah.
Kip? Okay, awesome.
He did his first. He sat right there and did
Nice.
his first one he'd ever done. He went home and now he has a podcast studio set up.
Did you see that?
I did see that. So you guys were the inspiration.
Yep.
Well,
I did his website, and he's on our marketing platform.
Yeah.
Justine.
and he loved it. He had a blast, and he was awesome. He acted like he'd done 100 of them.
Kip's fantastic.
He had stats and growth, and he had everything.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Kip and his company actually did the whole gutter system, downspout system for our new headquarters.
Really?
So believe it or not, Kip played a big part in the production
Kip's
of that.
a good dude.
Yeah.
He is a good
we
dude.
just are getting to know him, but
And I'm sure he'll be listening to this.
Yeah.
So hi, Kip.
Love you, Kip.
Now I have to bring this up because this is crazy. You have a Labradoodle named Oliver.
I do have a Labradoodle named Oliver.
We do too.
Wait, Doodle and Oliver?
Yes,
Oh, let's go.
but
It's meant to be.
He lives with our oldest son now because
Okay.
he was ours to begin with, but he when we went to pick him up from the breeder, he sat in Chase's lap.
Okay.
for 3 hours.
So for 3 hours. So he just developed that bond.
Yeah.
So he never listened to anybody in the
Really?
family but Chase. And
my
so
gosh,
then
that's
when he
funny.
got married, he and his wife.
They're the best dogs.
Oh.
They're so good.
That's all we've. Besides Ellie, who was a
Dalmatian.
then
Yeah.
we had Labradoodles, and
Yeah.
we've loved them. We've had 3.
They're seriously great. I mean, growing up, I never thought I would ever want a Labradoodle because I look at that. I'm like a masculine man. I'm like, these dogs are pussies, right? You know what I mean? The dog's soft. I'm like, give me like a German Shepherd or something like
Big
that.
dogs.
Yeah. But I'm actually allergic to dogs, and so Labradoodles are hypoallergenic, of course, and so that's kind of what pushed me at least to that type of breed.
Yeah.
And ever since, I was like, I won't get a different dog. They're the best dogs.
the
If you
same-
train them properly, they're fantastic.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
My parents have is it a golden doodle?
Yes,
But
she's
it's
a
like a
golden
mini.
Okay.
Or, it's like yay big.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little stupid dog. I love that dog.
I
It
know,
just gets
right?
up on your lap, and it's...
that's funny.
Well, we didn't do it because of allergy reasons, but we had a Dalmatian, and I swear to you, for 3 years after Ellie had passed away, which she lived at 18,
17, I think.
17 or 18. What's the difference?
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
or take a year.
Yeah.
We
year
found
of
that hair
Yeah.
everywhere. And I
Oh
told
my
him,
gosh.
I'm like, if we get another dog, it cannot have,
Literally,
it cannot
the
shed.
shedding. Oh my gosh,
I
couldn't
hate
agree
it.
more. There's nothing worse, and there's truly, and if this is you listening, like fix it, because there's nothing worse going to someone's house, sitting on their couch, getting up, and just being covered in dog hair. I'm like, bruh. So,
And you know what? Our family, especially my mom, Mom, if you're listening, sorry, but
Sorry, Mom.
she would No joke. Always wear black pants.
Oh yeah.
And I tell her, I'm like, Mom, you're gonna be
Yep,
coated.
Yeah.
No matter how much I cleaned, it did not make a difference. Or we'd brush her.
Yeah, lint roll for days.
Yes, it would never stop. So
that's
why we went with the Labradoodles. But then I would never go with anything else.
Yeah, they're great
either.
dogs. Yeah, great dogs.
So one more thing before we get deep into all this.
Yeah.
Valet parking.
Oh, whoa. Wow, you went deep in the archives.
From one valet to another.
Okay,
where did you park at? She showed me that on your LinkedIn. I'm like,
love
wow.
it. Wow, yeah, I forgot that was out there. Yeah, valet parking. I did that towards the end of high school and a little bit in college. I did it on the Short North, Hyde Park.
Okay.
And at the time, there was a restaurant. It was not Sushi Rock. I forget what was right across from Hyde Park. It's Parlay now. It was whatever was before that. But right there on the corner, ran the streets.
I'm an old Hyatt on Capitol Square.
Hyatt, okay. Yes.
About 1990, probably.
And when did I did it once.
She did it once.
Did she?
We had a
With
special
him.
event, and we had to teach her. We needed people. It was at
And that was when
it was at Kosai when it was at the old place, like before it moved years ago.
That was the first time that cars. That was the first
You had a
year
Lexus
that cars
and
had the
Push to
push button start.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, "Whoa,
What do I do with
is
this?"
Cool.
I know. It was a fun job. It's a fun job. I mean,
teach you
get
to talk to people,
Yep.
teach you to work hard to make more
hustle.
money. I loved it.
And not even that. I mean, outside of the parking cars, like the guys, like the older gentlemen with their, their honeys are sitting on the porch there. You'd come up to them. They'd come up to you and be like, "Hey, can you go grab me like a pack of cigarettes?" I'm sprinting to the cigarettes down there, or get a cigar for them. Come back and they give you like $100 bill just for that. I'm just like,
when we parked,
yeah, I swear.
we were like, I don't know if you remember the City Center Mall.
Yeah.
That's where we parked. It was like 3 blocks that way, and then
Yeah.
you had to run in that. When it was under construction, we parked like 6 blocks away, so we bust our ass running back and forth for a quarter sometime.
Well, nowadays it's $100 bill.
Yeah.
So.
We didn't get too many of those, but we always had a pocket full of money. So.
Yeah, it was a fun job.
That was hilarious. When we saw that, I'm like, "You've got to ask him about that." Too funny.
Yeah.
We were just a few years after you, but
Just before,
Yeah.
Or before.
Yeah, just a couple.
just a decade.
he
or two.
was a few years
Yes,
after
that was
us.
a few years. Yes.
All right. So, are you still married?
I'm not actually still married. Thank you for asking that. I appreciate that.
The only reason I asked
No,
is
please.
because
I know
I'm looking through and I see. All right, he had a partner
Once-
there that
once
that was
upon a
with the
time.
business,
Yeah.
and so that's why I'm asking.
No, yeah.
Sorry, I was pretty direct there.
I have nothing but good things to say about her. She is a fantastic individual. We started dating sophomore years of high school. Did the whole date through high school. Went to college. I played football. She was a cheerleader. I mean, it was a fairy tale story, right?
Yeah.
And we were just best friends, and just ended up just not working out in the sense that there was probably multiple times that there were signs of just the relationship maybe not meant to be, and I think we stayed together just out of comfortability. At the end of the day, it was all who we knew. Each other was the only thing that we knew, and she's a fantastic individual. She actually just got engaged, so shout out to her and the future success there. But it just wasn't meant to be. And
But she's not part of it anymore.
she is not. She never
Okay.
was like officially a part of the company, which did make things easier, I shall say.
Yeah.
It just meant to be. And she's a fantastic individual. Nothing but good things to say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so why don't you tell us all? Wait, why? Tell us
Visionary
your
meals. This is it. Yeah.
What got your passion that started this?
Absolutely.
How did it begin?
I think it's important for everyone to hear the story, how Visionary Meals started and how it was founded. So I went to Wittenberg University, got a degree in sociology, specialized in criminal justice, with a minor in sports management. I was going to be a cop. Law enforcement was what I was pursuing. I wanted to kick down doors. I wanted to get bad guys.
Was there somebody that caused you to want to do this?
I think growing up watching movies, cop movies and stuff like that, I just love that shit. I'm just like, that looks like so much fun, and the SWAT stuff, and just kind of developed a passion. I grew up on a farm, so I grew up shooting guns, and so it was always around, weaponry and stuff like that, and, got very familiar in how to properly handle, guns and stuff like that. And
What kind of farm?
So we mostly had pigs and chickens, and then alfalfa. So a lot of hay baling. And then we've done some corn in the past as well. So about 50 acres, not full time. My parents both work for full time, but farm in Granville that I grew up on would not have changed it for anything. Growing up in the country, I mean, you guys are out in the country.
Still there?
Here. It is, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually our headquarters, you'll learn our headquarters actually just sits right off the family farm.
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah, we had a plot of land when we were looking to expand our business. We were kind of looking for real estate, and my parents were like, listen, Josh, we got this plot of land we're not even using. I was just like, say less. I was like, let's go.
And your mom helps a lot too,
My
doesn't
mom
she?
is fantastic. Yeah,
I
she's
love
my ride or
that.
die. She's my rock. Love her so much.
I love it.
But yeah, so went to Wittenberg University and was getting my degree. It was junior year at WIT. We were actually visiting the individual I was with, my ex-wife. That is, her family moved to Texas early on in our college career. So we were visiting her family in Texas, and we came across this brick and mortar meal prep establishment. And we're like, well, this is cool. It was after a workout. We wanted something fresh, something clean, something healthy. So we walk in there. We grab our meals and we sit down and we're eating this meal and we're like, this meal is good. And we're like, man, this would be very cool to bring back to Ohio. We're like, there's nothing around there like this. This was the start of meal prep. This was probably 8-9 years ago. Some of the top brands, the leading brands. So Factor is one of the leading brands out there. They just had their 11th birthday. So if this kind of tells you how long, early into the stage, right? Mm-hmm. And we just start kind of throwing around ideas. Again, I'm a junior in college, so at this point in time, I was like, business was not at all like something I was chasing. We're just like, this would be cool. But that's kind of when like the entrepreneurial itch began. Yeah. And actually, on our flight home back to Ohio, we started doing some of the fun things of a business. Picking a name, starting to what colors would we do,
yes.
what would the logo look like, this and that, right? And we get back, and again, I'm in the middle of college football. I'm in the middle of getting a degree. This is the last thing on my mind. Fast forwarding, finished football, got a degree. Summer comes around, and I'm getting ready for the police academy. I'm enrolling in all the physical tests. I'm studying for my big exam, the poly. I'm doing the whole 9 yards. I mean, I am in deep into this process of becoming a cop. And I'm an individual that is strong in my faith. And this just idea of starting this business kept getting laid on my heart. And I'm just like, damn.
Kept thinking about it all the time.
Why can I not stop thinking about this? And eventually I sit down. I'm like, okay, if I were to do this, just big if, like, let's just entertain it, right? How would this business work? And if there's anything that I knew about business at this time, if you can spend less than you're making, right? Keep your overhead low, you're going to stay afloat. That's all I knew. So I was starting to study other businesses, other meal prep companies, that is, and I was seeing there was a lot of great meal prep companies out there, nothing compared to what there is today, but the one thing that I noticed is the product was fairly affordable until most people hit that shipping cost. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, if we did this business model, how could we eliminate cost as much as possible? And that's where the idea behind the pickup locations became about, where we put our branded refrigerators in different gyms, supplement shops, coffee shops, whatever that might be. So when our consumers order online, they can select one of those pickup locations, waives the shipping cost, makes it more affordable for them. Gym members grab their meals on the way out, X, Y, and Z. It's smooth sailing from there. And I was like, that's how we can at least cut costs. At this point in time, I created the business plan and just set it aside. 4 or 5 weeks go by, and one night I woke up at like 3 a.m. with just like a flood of ideas. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get out of bed.
Entrepreneurial disease right there.
That's when it started. Right?
It never stops.
Yeah.
No, it does not. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. And it happened like 3 weeks in a row, almost at the same exact time.
Really?
With just different ideas. And I'm just like, fuck. So I get out of bed, writing. And at this point in time, the business plan is created, the name, the logo's designed. I've got everything almost put into place. And I picked the Visionary Meals as the name, Envision the Best You as our slogan. But I knew, being strong in my faith, I want to tie in my faith some way, shape, or form around this business. Mm-hmm. So I picked a Bible verse to base the company off of, which is 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. So that was the verse that I picked for the company. And actually today, that verse goes on every meal that goes out to our customers. Yeah,
that is awesome. That gives me like goosebumps.
The second podcast in a row that's based off of us.
I love that. Faith.
That's right. Yeah, because
27-17.
Sarah's the same
really?
way.
Wow,
yes.
that's cool.
I don't remember which one it was, but
hers is the
iron sharpens iron.
27-17.
Yep.
Proverbs. Yeah,
Yep.
That's a good one. So at this point in time, I was like, okay, we need a place to cook this food though, obviously. And I was like, the church that we attend has a beautiful, immaculate commercial kitchen. I was like, it's perfect. And it's a church. Like, they'll give it to us for next to nothing, right? I was like, we need to talk to the church and figure out if this is even feasible. So that was like midweek when I was kind of finalizing those details. Saturday night comes around, went to a buddy's house. On my drive home, it was like that final push, because I was like, at this point in time, I've been praying, nights and nights before. I was just like, God, I feel you like pulling me toward this direction. I feel you putting this on my heart, but like I'm being stubborn. Like, I'm going to be a cop. Like, I want to knock down doors. Like, God,
are you sure?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, God, you have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Like, I'm supposed to get bad guys. I'm like, come on, that's what I've been training to do. Like, that is what I want. That is what I'm designed to do. Well, later on, I find out God had something different planned, because that night I came home and I just prayed. I said, God, I know that you're pulling me and trying to give me every emotion that I need to pursue this, but I'm not going to do it unless you show me. So I literally prayed. I was like, God, I need you to show me that this is what you want me to do. Mm-hmm. Go to bed that night, go to church the next morning. And as we were leaving church, the individual I was with, she's like, Josh, you want to look at this kitchen to really make sure if we were to do this, would it work here? So we walk into this kitchen, we're looking around. It's beautiful. I mean, they've got brand new equipment, the stovetop's shiny. It's like it hasn't even been touched yet. We're planning. We're like, we'd operate over there. We'd do this over there. We'd operate over here. And as we're getting ready to leave, she goes, Josh, stop. I go, stop. She goes, look up on the wall. And literally behind me, up on the wall, I turn around. It was decaled 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whatever you do, drink, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. And I said, all right.
There's your sign.
There's my sign. I said, show me, God. And you showed me.
Literally, there's your sign.
And funny story.
That's so cool.
Funny story. I actually, that was like that
stamp
punctuation that I needed, right?
Yeah.
But I go to the church, present it. I had a great relationship with the pastor, and present it to him, and they end up shutting it down because of the liability issue. So ended up starting the business in the apartment that we were in on a 4-burner stove, so small you couldn't even fit 4 pans. Later moved into my mom's kitchen off the family farm, and then from there into about 1,000 square feet kitchen for a few years, and we just stepped foot into our brand new state-of-the-art facility over 7,000 square feet.
It looks beautiful. We've
Yes,
seen some little bit of your social media. You've been
Oh my gosh, you
Yes.
holy crap.
So it was quite the journey.
Yeah.
How long have you been in there? The new one?
The new one, we've been in there about a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
about
it's
a month.
still new.
Still new. They're cooking away right now as we speak. Yep, we're whipping up a few hundred meals to go out tomorrow. So yeah, we cook anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 meals a week.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
So, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so it's quite the journey, and it hasn't slowed down.
7,000 square foot facility.
I'm just rolling through that in my head from one stove to that. I mean, just
the production for us. Yeah, it's changed.
How did you keep up before? I mean,
well, it's crazy.
Probably couldn't grow.
We couldn't. You
didn't want to.
Exactly right, Pat. we literally, there was a point, and obviously as the business owner, when you're looking at finances, you're always wanting to grow.
Yeah.
But there was a point for my people. I was like, I hope we don't grow, because my people were getting pushed so hard.
Your facility is the bottleneck.
Exactly. In that space. Yeah.
Gosh, and you've done Arnold for,
we have three years we've done the Arnold. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that first year
I remember
doing the
first
Arnold.
year.
I mean, we had a moving truck in there, because using it as dry goods storage. We had stoves outside hooked up, generators hooked up. I mean, we're trying to crank out 7,000 meals in like 2 days inside
and you did it on site.
On site, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
That's
crazy.
massive.
So Arnold prep this year, as we've already begun, it's much easier. We're like, this is gonna be a breeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
The Arnold?
Yeah.
So, wow, good question. How did that come about? I want to say, so we are partnered with the convention center there in Columbus, with Levy Restaurants. They're kind of the food for the whole convention center. And so I had previously No, this is how it started. I actually had a relationship through one of our pickup locations, Metro Fitness Worthington, and they used to host all the Arnold Classic meetings outside of that space. So that back when Laramie was the owner of the Arnold committee, my connection at Metro was connected with him. So I got connected with the Arnold there, and then I made a relationship with Levy Restaurants at the convention center. So we actually partner under Levy Restaurants to operate, because we have a whole concession stand at the Arnold where it's branded. It's our own booth. It's there year round. There in the expo center. So I actually ended up getting kind of intermingled with both sides of the parties there, and just been building that relationship ever since.
That's awesome. So digging a little deeper on that, that's one of the things we say all the time is, you're selling meals, but your main job is finding new business. That's we tell plumbers, you're not a plumber, but you're selling plumbing services. So I mean, that must be something that I'm assuming it's you to excel at. Your relationships or however you got in there is.
Well, Pat, you bring up a great point. As business owners, it's our job to delegate, right? We want to delegate as much as we can. We want to delegate the things that we're not good at, the things that we don't enjoy. And to this day, I continue to try to delegate more and more. But the one thing I do try to hold on to is the relationship side of things, the sales side of things. Because not only because I feel like I have a gift at it, but I truly enjoy it. Sitting here with you guys, I love this. You know what I mean? We're building a healthy relationship and connection at the end of the day. But you're right. In order for the business to grow, it's all about building those relationships and making those new contracts. And, for us in our current space, we couldn't afford to grow, so relationships, not that they died or anything, but they just did not flourish, right? Now that we're in this new space, we're talking about relationships in Cleveland, Cincinnati, statewide, and eventually be able to open up the door for nationwide shipping.
Wow. All from
our central headquarters.
That's awesome,
nice.
dude.
Very,
congratulations,
very
man.
Thank you.
You're just at the start of it, but that's
scary.
a big step.
It is.
And you have a lot of competition too.
There is a lot of competition out there. Yeah.
So what sets you apart?
That's a great question, Angie. What sets us apart? At the end of the day, it's, I tell people all the time, we are not here to sell a product. We are here to sell a feeling, and we try to do just that as a company. We believe any customer that comes our way, that we want to give them an experience outside of the food much more than what the food offers, right? Every customer gets a handwritten note from us on every order, not just their first order, but every order that they get. We're still one of those companies that does follow-up calls every month. We'll call our new customers to see how their experience was. But at the end of the day, our product truly is what sets us apart. We're farm to table. 90% of our products are sourced from local farms. So
I love that.
Really bringing in the farm to table aspect, and really not only offering a better product for our customers, but also supporting the local farms that still reside in our community. We're 100% gluten-free, and we're also one of the most customizable meal prep companies out there. So for individuals following like a meal plan or macros, our customers can come to our website and fully customize anything that they might need or want based on the meal plan that they have to follow.
That's awesome.
Yep. I saw that.
The local stuff, local vibes, that's literally what we do.
That's
We do local business. We feel like, with all the global shit happening, that you got to take more control, and we actually work with a farmer that's doing local meat. That's where our meat comes from.
I love that.
How hard is it finding farmers that are,
for you,
able to supply that much?
It's so hard. Fortunately, we have partnered with a couple of vendors that we know source locally. So, they do a lot of the legwork for us, of course. But what's hard is margins, because when you're sourcing locally, obviously you're going to have
trying to beat them up.
Yeah, exactly. Your margins, are a little bit tighter. So, as we have grown as a business, that's also been a challenge, learning how to, and when we're scaling, can these local farms that are providing for us, can they also keep up with our growth? Right. So it's going to be probably a never-ending challenge, but we do our best to maintain our roots. Kitty's in the house.
Hello, Karen.
Karen's here.
Didn't you see the on-air sign?
Yeah, come on, Karen, read.
Come on.
So
check him out.
Yeah, hi, Kitty.
That's pretty cool that it's farm to table and that it's local. You can throw her ass down.
That's all right.
She'll be right back. We're very professional here.
I love it.
But yeah,
Yes,
we eat pretty well, so we try to stay.
You guys are fantastic. You guys are
we're working on
beautiful people. Beautiful people.
I'm doing 75 hard right now, so if
Love
I have
that.
to piss, I'm gonna have to.
You know that, right?
Yep, do your thing. Been there, done that. Yep.
You have done that one?
I have done 75 hard. I did it actually a
Nice.
long time ago when it first came out, like before I feel like it was even like mainstream. Now it's mainstream. I feel like most people don't even know who comes up with 75 hard.
Right. So
Actually,
you're right.
a lot of our friends don't even know about it.
Yeah,
Really?
but you're doing handwritten notes, so I assume you know who Andy Frisella is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because
Yep.
that's what he does.
Yep, Andy's the man. Yep.
Actually, I got his book over there with a handwritten note in it too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dude.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through. So for me, it's the way we live anyway.
Yeah.
The second workout, I get down here, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go work out.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like today, I'm a little bit behind. I got a few
trust
more
me.
to
I
drink.
got the gallon jug in the water. Or the gallon
Actually,
water in
for me,
truck.
the hardest
Yeah.
part,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we read, we get up, I follow a meal plan and
Yeah.
my outdoor walk has been a walk lately.
Yeah.
And by the time I get home, I'm about to piss my pants.
You're like, I
because
gotta
I've been
go.
drinking a gallon of water all day. So I always come
love
busting in the
it.
door. I'm
Yeah,
like, that's the
gotta
hardest
go.
part for me is making 45 minutes without being able to stop.
But I mean, as you guys both drinking water, like you can attest, like it is so undervalued.
Oh, yeah.
Water. I mean, it's so simple, but like, man.
And we do hydrogen water now.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Even better. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've always drank a lot, a gallon. I thought it was going to be hard. It's not. It just,
No.
you
It
just
is
gotta
for me.
keep
Yeah,
it.
it depends.
For a woman, that's a lot
When
of water.
when I'm off my water, I'm off my game. Like I feel like shit.
Yes.
Like the second I get that water, I mean, even body composition. You're because when you don't consume the adequate amount of water, your body's not going to hold water weight. So for me, I can tell just by when I take my shirt off, I can tell like, oh, Josh, you haven't had enough water today because my muscles aren't as tight. X, Y, and Z. Like water, game changing.
Isn't it crazy?
Crazy.
It
Drink
is
your water,
crazy.
people. Drink
there's,
your water.
There's
right.
all kinds of shit that I do now that everybody thinks I'm
I
crazy,
know.
but
as I'm drinking this energy drink that's horrible for you, but man,
isn't that's what Blake likes that one too?
I don't
doesn't he?
remember.
I think the ghost.
the ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, I do red light therapy. I do
Where do you
cold
do that at?
plunge upstairs.
And we bought
one.
Let's go.
We bought one.
that.
Just a little one.
I had cancer.
Okay.
I had colon cancer.
Oh my gosh,
so
did not know.
I try to do everything.
for you.
After I had that, I dove deep
Yeah.
into stuff. I mean, I
And
was
she
already.
was always the most healthy person I know.
I was
She
at
has
Torsion.
frickin'
Right.
colon
Yeah.
cancer.
I was at Torsion. I mean,
that's how we got connected, right?
Yeah.
Angie's through Torsion. That's what I
Yep,
thought.
I started following you after
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
And so then when I got sick, I obviously was not at Torsion anymore. And then we had COVID and all that.
Yeah.
But then one Uprising opened
Yeah,
up.
I heard about that.
Like 9 minutes from me. So that was a little bit easier to go
Which,
to.
by the way, was there, no pun intended, was there an uprising when that happened? Because didn't a lot of Torsion people go there or no?
Some, but I mean, it was the coach. It was their coach.
It originated from that. There's just a little bit different of programming.
Yeah.
All of the CrossFits in this area, the great thing about them is they're all CrossFit, but they all are different.
Yeah.
They
okay.
have
Interesting.
they just have a different way of doing things.
Yeah.
And Jason at Uprising it's hard to explain.
He's more into training for competitions.
Okay.
He's
okay.
Not just that, but he does
I mean, that's
have
his
that
specialty.
in him.
For sure.
They're all competitors.
There's just something about him.
I don't think the three CrossFits mesh very well because
Yeah.
there's just not that many.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell Jason. We've done some marketing for him. It's not like there's 10,000 people in Newark that want to do CrossFit.
Right.
And there's 3 gyms, so
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
and it's something we say all the time. Everyone's got their own vibe, and
Yeah.
you're going to go to the one that you vibe
Absolutely.
with. And if
Absolutely.
it's the one that's closest, that's the way it works.
He's got a fantastic story behind him.
Does
If
he?
you haven't listened to that,
Okay.
I'll have to send it to
yeah,
you.
please do.
It's
Love to check
phenomenal.
that
He's
out.
just he's just a
did
great
Good
coach.
dude.
I don't know. Do you know who Savon is from
I know the
CrossFit?
name, yeah.
He was the old marketing guy, the old camera guy. He's got a podcast now.
Okay.
Jason did 4 hours with Savon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're talking
Just wait till you hear
Yeah.
it. It's
guns
crazy.
and car chases
Yeah,
and
oh, shit, no
hostages,
way.
and it's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
deep.
Oh shit, let's
It's
go.
unbelievable how he has turned his life around.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Very cool. Okay.
And
I'll have
he's
to check that out.
It's pretty
just
cool.
a super caring
4
individual.
hour podcast?
4
Yes,
hours.
4 hours. And you are like,
And he talked the whole
you're
time.
intent the whole time.
No
you're
way.
like,
He is.
don't get off.
We tell the story. It's hilarious because Savon he was the chief marketing officer for CrossFit when it blew up.
Yeah.
So he's, he kind of bragged, I helped grow the the biggest franchise in history.
Yeah.
And when all the shit started happening, you know, the media team got axed, but he's still totally CrossFit. And he talks, I mean, he's one of the main guys that's not in CrossFit now that talks about CrossFit.
And I got in touch with them. I'm just like, what the
she
hell?
said,
I'm
hey,
just
you might
gonna
want to
do
talk to this guy.
I sent an email through their form. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way that they're going to contact me. And he
Jason
did.
called. He's like, you'll never believe who called. I said,
Let's
Savon.
go.
He's like, how you fuckers. But
amazing.
he talks a lot, and the whole time, I mean, he was just quiet. And then it's amazing.
Hell yeah.
It was 20 years ago, but
Okay.
Where were we anyway? Where did we start with this conversation?
CrossFit and how they don't mesh. And
Oh no,
Jason.
that's where I was when I got sick, and I
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
met with you, and then and that's how I got started into all the health and stuff, because of the fact I had been in CrossFit at that point 4 years,
Probably.
because I was at CrossFit Newark first, until they closed, and then I went to Torsion, and healthy I thought as could be, and eating I thought everything I was supposed to be eating. Actually, the day I went into the hospital, I did a partner WOD at Torsion.
No way.
Totally.
Oh my
Ran a mile and did.
Then got out of that, got through that. Everything's good.
Good.
But that's when I just started diving into way more into,
Let's talk about processed food.
processed food.
Everything you should be putting in your body, or shouldn't be putting in your body. Yeah.
Seed oils
Yes.
and
Yes.
sugar.
and gluten and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we have gone a little bit further than what you guys do. We're more ketovore, carnivore.
Okay. Nice.
It's definitely better for me when you don't have a colon. It's definitely
Absolutely.
better. But we're definitely very aligned in the fact of what's out there
Don't eat
for
the shit.
most people.
literally.
It's crazy.
Terrible. It's crazy. And
And
people
nobody
have no,
listens.
So what
no one listens. That's the thing. I was going to say people have no idea, but they do know. Like, it's out there. This information is out there, but people
do you have issues with that, trying to talk to
Yes.
people?
Like, open your freaking eyes, y'all. Like,
I said it last week because the girl we interviewed last week's a yoga instructor and does CrossFit, and she's nutrition and health. But I said, I don't know where it came from, but it's in my head all the time. What is it? You know the answer is diet and exercise, but you just want to take a pill.
yeah, facts.
And that's
Yep.
everybody
Everyone, the easy
knows.
way out.
You know you're not supposed to eat that
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Not every damn day.
No, I'm all about balance. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll smash a pizza or something this weekend or whatever, but like balance, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to like through the week, I'm on my shit during the week. I don't step off. I don't have alcohol. I don't eat out. I'm on my crossing my T's, dot my I's throughout the week. The weekend comes, I'll have a meal or two that's outside of my norm. Just again, balance, but outside of that,
You still got to live, but
that's exactly.
Once I'm off the 75 hard, I'm back on that.
There we go. I love
Back
it.
to living.
Yeah.
What
day are you? You said
36 today,
36?
I think, something like that. So not too bad. I haven't really struggled yet.
You haven't missed anything.
I mean,
previously he did. What'd you do? You walked for 300 and.
No, I started jogging, walking.
Yeah.
It's like out to the main entrance of our development, a mile, like mile back, mile out, mile back, 2 miles. I started jogging, running a little bit, walking. I'm going to do it every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it every day.
Yeah.
I got to day 285, and we had stayed with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. They had a cabin way down in southern Ohio in the hills. And we were there 2 days. The first day, I went out and I walked. It was like a hill and a gravel circle, and I did my 2 miles. The next day, we were packing up to leave. I'm like, I'll just do it when I get home. I woke up the next day, and I was like, motherfucker, I forgot.
Oh, did you really?
I did it 285 days in a row and then forgot.
No
but
way.
then your issue is.
And then I never did it again. I
You stopped. Yeah.
So it's like with this, I'm going to get 75 hard. It'll be easy for me. I'll do it.
This your first time?
First time.
Okay, cool.
Thought about it a lot, but
Have you done it multiple?
I haven't. I've actually only done it once. Yeah.
Like most people, like even Andy Frisella says, it's not a fitness challenge. It's the discipline.
Oh, absolutely. Mental.
I'm not going to say I'm disciplined, but I've got that discipline pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to kickstart my fitness.
There you go.
Because
Good. I love that.
I want to get back into shape. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's an excuse. Now I can't drink. I can't have ice cream or pizza. So
good for you.
So
Good for you. I love it.
So how did you? how did you come up with the different meals?
Yeah, great question. So once upon a time, talk about delegating. Once upon a time, I obviously have done every aspect of the business, from cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, delivering, marketing, accounting.
That's good.
Everything. Yep. Obviously when you start a business, you end up, touching everything as you should. But I actually, believe it or not, I hate cooking.
I was just going to say, is that something you?
Nope. I always say
gave that one up really quick.
Start a cooking business.
Yes, I always say God qualifies the called; He doesn't call the qualified. So for
that's
me,
good.
Yeah, for me, I just I have put people in place. I have multiple chefs, but I'm going to highlight two of them specifically. My executive chef, Aaliyah, and then my senior sous chef, Maddie. Actually, Aaliyah is 21. My sous chef is 22. They were just young but vibrant, hardworking. They are so passionate about what they do. So every month, actually, before I came here, we were having our taste testing for March. So, for our March, our menu changes every month. So we rotate our menu every month, and
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So our chefs will create their entrees, we taste test them, and then they recreate them again for photos, and then they go live. So, we just got done taste testing 12 new entrees that are coming out live. But I let our chefs, they dive into their own creative side. For me, I have criteria of what needs to, be within the product itself. But I let them. That's their wheelhouse. I don't want to honestly be a part of it. I offer my insight, but no. As far as menu creation, that is their passion, and I let them run with it.
It's like kudos on your branding, man. The pictures and everything.
Yes, you do a great job.
So much.
She's the designer, and these pictures make such a difference.
It's everything.
Especially if you're selling something.
It is, yeah.
Take the time and spend the money to get some good pictures.
For sure. Yeah.
Your site looks awesome.
Thank you.
It looks delicious.
We actually just launched a brand new website a few weeks ago. So we've had a lot going on as a company. New headquarters, new website, other new changes, this and that. But thank you. We're very excited. Honestly, that was a $25,000 project, because a lot of this new release of this website, yes, there was front end changes for our customers, but there's a lot of back end automations. I love automation, right? And continuing to build the company in a streamlined way. And so the back end, next time when this podcast studio is done, I'm going to have you guys out to the headquarters. When I bring you on the podcast, you get to see the behind the scenes and all the automations and how everything works. I have a very, very skilled developer on staff that has created this product for us. And, it's one of those things. We've actually had brands reach out to us previously and more recently since the launch of this website to buy our software.
All custom?
Yeah, because it's all custom
website's
coded.
custom, everything?
Everything's custom
awesome.
coded.
Nice.
Yeah, everything's custom coded. So
a local coder?
It is a local. Yeah, his name's Daniel. He actually went to Granville. So I always butcher his last name. It's like Abdesami or something like that. sorry, Daniel.
That's cool though.
But he's a
we
great
were
guy.
wondering, because we always look at the underlying code, and I'm like, Pat, look at this.
She's like, what is this? I'm like,
I have no idea what this is made in,
Not
but I
Shopify,
gotta
not
find
WordPress.
out. I love it.
Yep. It's all
Well,
coded.
kudos to him,
Yeah.
because it's very,
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
very, very nice.
If I can pull it up here and show it for the peeps. Why is it? So while I'm showing this, so people on video at least can see it. Be a visionary.
Yeah. So on that you'll see there the menu there, and it's broken down into categories. I don't know if you guys got it up yet, but broken down into categories. We have chef special signatures. So our chef specials are entrees that, typically if you go to your favorite restaurant, you're going to find these chef specials there, right? These are going to be the higher end products. Our signatures, same thing, but they might be a little bit more basic. They might have a little bit more simplicity to them, lower macros, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Breakfast category, getting ready to expand on. We're actually getting ready to launch a build your own breakfast as well. Then our build your own section is where you can fully customize the meals to your liking, to whatever you want inside that meal. And we're also here in March getting ready to release a full-on plant-based line as well. So really just trying to expand.
Marketing's on. I mean, the branding on point, the color, everything, man. It looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's
what
a lot. Everybody should strive for.
Thank you.
So, what's the number one seller?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, so actually,
Great question, Pat.
Because it all looks freaking delicious. I'm hungry.
You'll see there the buffalo chicken meatballs is a customer all-time favorite.
Buffalo
Really?
chicken meatballs.
So good. That one actually just came back on
it.
our menu because, again, our menu rotates every month. So they're always changing. So we'll keep some staples on there. But the buffalo chicken meatballs, it's going to be under the signature entree dishes.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. It's,
limited time. You better order.
Yeah,
better get it.
Get it while you can.
Yeah.
Oh, we even got a little slideshow action.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So, yeah, it's delicious. And then another popular one is, it's my personal favorite, the spicy Italian chicken sausage pasta. That one's fire too. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for, of course. But our chefs are always bringing new entrees, new things for our people to change it up.
Mm-hmm. What's your customer base now? How many locations?
Yeah, so we got
you said 1,000 to 2,500 meals a week.
Ish. Yeah, we got about 20 pickup locations spread all throughout Central Ohio.
Wow.
So we're partnered with most of the main gyms here in the local area.
You ship it all right now?
No shipping at all. So everything is direct to consumer. Now we do go direct to consumers home, but it's handled by us. Now the reason we aren't using like a logistical company or shipping out yet, our meals come in like a microwavable container, essentially, right? I actually just got done signing on the dotted line the other day for a vacuum seal machine. It's about a $50,000 machine where we are going to now vacuum seal our meals, and it's not only going to extend the shelf life of these meals and keep that freshness in there, but it's going to open up the door and allow us to start shipping this product. So currently we're not able to ship due to the container. It would break. The meals would
flip around.
Yeah,
does it have to be frozen?
It doesn't have to be frozen.
Okay.
Nope. So this they call it VSP. So the film will like basically suck down onto the meal and prevent it from moving, and then you ship it on dry ice from there. So we hope to be at least shipping some in the Ohio region, the state of Ohio, by the end of this year, hopefully. So
UPS, FedEx.
That's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay.
Like, what logistical company are we going to partner with, and what's going to make the most sense due to the volume?
Mm-hmm.
What's the volume of an order that makes sense for the consumer? There's one is not going to be
correct. Yeah. Now we have a meal minimum currently on our website of 5. We actually just moved it from 3 to 5. And once we do our shipping, we'll that straight shipping to your home, that meal minimum will probably have to increase a little bit. And at the end of the day, I tell people, I'm like, if you're coming to us just for like 3 meals a week, or 4 meals or 5 meals a week, like that's great. We'll take you. We want to feed you, of course. But when it comes to meal prepping, yes, we want to step into your life, whatever's going to be the most convenient. But most of our customers are coming to us and ordering anywhere from 12 to 21 meals, a week, because they want to, if they're meal prep, there's no point in utilizing a meal prep company if you still have to meal prep on your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, but it just depends. Some people, they're like, there's 3 days in my week that I can't afford to get lunch or whatever. And that's what they get us for. But,
and that what everybody here, what is it? HelloFresh, I still got to cut and chop and cook and people.
HelloFresh. Yeah. HelloFresh is obviously a big brand out there, but yes, you still have to make the product. Ours
not
is nice.
Necessarily
you get it,
meal prep.
Pop it in the microwave. It's ready in 2 minutes.
And the thing is the cost is not bad at all, especially anymore. Correct. What everybody's saying and how much fast food has gone up. Literally. I don't know because I don't eat it, but
no, seriously,
people have told me it's like skyrocketed.
It's crazy. Actually, it's funny you say that. I believe it or not, I actually ate fast food the other day, and it's something I haven't done in years. I can't even make this up.
Did it tear you up?
It did. It did not make me feel good. I would agree with that. Yes, but on the point of price, I went there. It was after a really long cook day, and my assistant, she loves bacon, and she was talking about like their Baconator at Wendy's or something like that. It was on like their pretzel bun or something that they have right now.
Talked you into it.
Yeah, she basically talked us into it, and my director of ops were like, it was like late at night just before they closed. It was a long day. We're like, let's go smash a burger from Wendy's or whatever. Horrible idea, but at the time it sounded great. We all went there, and I ended up just like flipping it for 3 people. It was like $49 or some shit.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, guys, we should have went to like a Hyde Park or what I mean? Like, that's crazy. 3 people was like $49. I thought it'd be like $20.
Yep.
What it used to be.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Did you get everything with it? Did you get drinks and fries and all that?
I mean, we got the meal.
But that's
combo
what people
meals.
get.
Combo meal, yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn.
Well, actually, that's a good thing for you because people can't come to you and say, hey, I can't afford this. We're like, yes, you can.
Well, that's what it revealed to me. I was like, damn, my prices are too low. Like, someone's paying this for shit and they're only paying this for good. Like,
yeah.
Dang,
we hear that a lot because, we eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
We're mostly beef, and we buy the cow.
Yeah.
But everybody says, I can't afford to eat like that. Well, yeah, but we're not buying all the sides and all the junk and the dessert and it's really not that much more.
No, it's really not. That's what people need to open their eyes up to. Like at the end of the day, especially when like eating out, I mean, that's a whole other topic, but even the grocery store nowadays, like I'm going to relate it back to meal prep, like with the time and money and effort that you spend grocery shopping compared to what you would spend meal prepping, it's almost a break-even match.
And how much do people throw away?
Exactly. Waste is a whole nother topic, right? Waste is a whole nother topic. But at the end of the day, too, I'll ask people like, well, how much do you value your time, right? How much do you, like your time is everything. Is one thing we all know we're not going to get back. So like you spending a few extra dollars on a meal versus like gaining a few extra hours in your life, it's a no-brainer.
Easy.
I usually sell people on it.
Yeah. Well, I always say it even myself. I was like, if we close shop tomorrow, I'm finding another meal prep company. I'm going to meal prep with them. You know what I mean? Because like I've already been utilizing it in my life this long. I can't imagine life without it now. Truly. Like talk about productivity. Like my productivity skyrockets.
Yeah, you don't have to. No
it's
dishes.
got to be nice for you. You got a chef.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got a personal chef, right?
You do. That is so fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What's your favorite?
What is my favorite meal? Like I said, that spicy Italian chicken sausage pasta. I'll eat that actually every night. I'll eat that after a long day. It's so good. Yeah. So that's
we need to get something.
I know.
Full disclosure, I just met Josh
I've
today.
tasted it
we haven't had any.
Yeah.
I've tasted.
You've probably tasted some pop-ups. Yeah, you probably had like our energy bites. So our energy bites
something
are like
that.
They're like crack, oats, honey, peanut butter, chocolate chips, and protein powder. They're
yes,
so
I
good.
think you did that for us. For I don't know if it was for an open or what it was when I was at Torsion.
Probably
when you first started delivering there. So I know
so
I've tasted it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to get you guys some meals.
Yeah, especially our daughter has gone gluten-free just recently because she's figured out that is not good for her.
It's not, and it's too bad. Gluten-free never obviously used to be a thing, but all the years of genetically modifying everything, and it's just actually my ex-wife. The reason the company is gluten-free is because at some point in time in our relationship, she ended up getting allergic reactions to gluten. I mean, her eyes would swell up. It would be so bad.
Seriously?
Yeah. So when we created the company, I was just like, we're going to make it gluten-free, and we haven't looked back since. Yeah, everything, every last item. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we don't allow any gluten in our kitchen. Yeah,
that's probably a pretty good marketing angle right there.
Absolutely.
Just because there's so many people that have issues with it.
So many. Yeah, even myself, I don't consider myself like allergic to gluten, but since I do eat so much gluten-free, when I do have gluten, I feel like shit.
Really?
I feel like shit. Yeah, it's crazy. I just feel heavy, bogged down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hungry the next day.
Hungry the next day. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we always laugh about. You can smash a pizza at 11 o'clock at night, wake up starving.
Yeah, facts.
I can have a steak at 5 and wake up and not have to eat till noon.
Yep, get your protein in, people. That makes you feel full.
Yep. So I also noticed on your website you do catering.
We do catering, yes.
Have you always done catering, or is this just
yes and
something
no?
new?
It's kind of, we've done it as things have come up. A lot of people will come to us, hey, do you guys cater? And the answer is usually yes. So we've catered small weddings. We've catered just more so work events, luncheons, and stuff like that. We're actually partnered with a company called Fudo, where they partner with corporate businesses in the Columbus market, and we actually come into these places of business and serve their people. So anywhere from 40 to 150 people at a time or something like that. Catering is a great business. Margins are typically pretty good in catering, but it's not like a huge market for ours.
Do you find you get a lot of clients from it?
Once we do catering,
Angie,
you bring up a great point. It does serve as a great purpose of at least marketing and
lead generator.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great lead generator because people are like, oh my gosh, you guys like this. You're not just a catering company, you're a meal prep company, but you just do catering as well. So we sell them on the product, of course.
What else do you, speaking of lead generating, what do you do? How are you getting your word out now?
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good topic because we as a company, it's always been from the time that we started to really now, it's been word of mouth. It's been just creating relationships just like this, and it's just been through our own social media efforts. But I would say about 5 years in now, we're to the point as a company where definitely we have made a presence in the market that we can reach, and recently there has been a lot of conversation around what can we continue to do to push the product. So getting ready to, already partnered with a company called Orbit Media. They're going to be running all of our local and social ads. So we're really going to be picking up ads on Facebook and Instagram. And then since we're in our new space now, we're going to be boots on the ground, getting in the Cincinnati market, getting in the Cleveland market. as far as speaking of boots on the ground, I mean, my team will go around and we'll literally do old school. We'll put door hangers on there, in neighborhoods and stuff like that, just trying to make people aware about it, because so many times when our brand comes up, and especially when someone starts hearing about the integrity of our company and the integrity of our product, they're like, well, I had no idea you guys existed. And so, one of our biggest things has been is, as we have talked about expansion, I've stressed to my team, I was like, guys, there's still so much potential in our backyard. So just trying to get the word out there, but it is time. I actually heard something, a short, like reel, TikTok or whatever on Instagram the other day, and it was basically talking about, you can tell when someone is a first-time entrepreneur because they're trying to perfect their product, right? They want their product to be perfect, and of course everyone wants a great product. But then it said you can tell when someone's a second-time entrepreneur, like their second business, because they're more focused on getting their product to the people, right? So that kind of dawned on me, because I've always been like, no, guys, our product's got to be perfect. Like, I don't want to start shipping until because we get one shot, and in some cases that's true. Yes, you want a really, really good product, but at the end of the day, look at all the big brands out there. Apple, Microsoft, Nike, they have all found a way to get their product in the hands of their people, and they can worry about perfecting it along the way. So we're on a mission to get our product to the people. So
that's the question. When you talk about that, you have delivery locations.
Yeah.
What if somebody doesn't go to CrossFit? How are you getting them to understand that they can go pick that stuff up? How does that work?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, we can ship it straight to your home as long as you fall within our shipping radius. But if this answers your questions, our pickup locations are open to everyone. You don't have to be a member in any gym.
They're all different.
Yeah, they're all different gyms.
Right.
So,
but I'm just wondering, how many do that don't go to the gym but still order from you to go pick it up at the gym?
Actually, a handful.
Because some people think it's weird.
I
don't go to CrossFit. I'm not going to go in there.
No, for sure. You bring up a good point. I think there is probably a barrier to entry there for some people, because they're like, well, I'm not affiliated with them. I don't know anybody. This is weird. But we've actually found it to be a win-win for all parties, not just the customer, not just for us, but also the gym we partner with, because that's our whole selling point. We come into these places of business and we're like, hey, we would love to be able to put our branded refrigerator inside your space. Not only is it going to add value to your current members, but it's going to bring outside traffic that has never stepped foot in your gym before. And next thing you know, and what we have seen is people will walk in this gym and they're like, this is fantastic. I've been looking for a gym like this. Wow, you guys are so welcoming.
Obviously, they're going to be interested in health.
Exactly. I mean, talk about a lead generator. It's a lead generator for these gyms. Like, we're bringing outside foot traffic inside your place of business, and now you just have to sell them, right? Show them how good of a people we are. Show them what you guys have. And if they end up saying, hey, I would love a gym membership here, great. If not, you're building a relationship over time.
Yeah.
How the locations work? Are they paying to have you in there? Are you giving them a cut?
Good question. So, no. When I first started it, we did have like a base, payout to these locations, and then gyms started hitting us up left and right. They're like, hey, we'll pay for your fridge. We just want you guys in here. So I was just like, well, shit, let's stop giving money away. What I mean? And so that's we obviously do discounts for ownership and stuff like that, and we try to provide them as much value as possible. In food, it's so hard to say, we'll pay out X amount of dollars a month, or you'll get X percentage of whatever meals are delivered here. There was actually a company before us. Actually, they were in CrossFit Torsion, believe it or not. They actually had a very similar business model.
I was thinking there was more than one.
Yeah, Kettlebell Kitchen. They ended up going out of business.
I remember that.
They ended up going out of business. But they were doing a similar thing where they would, based on the meals that were getting delivered to these locations, the gym owners would get a cut of that, which that's an advantageous sell for the gym owner. But clearly it didn't work, because they're out of business. I've spoke to most of these gym owners that have never been paid out.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, and food margins are so
eats
tight.
Up the margin.
Yeah, exactly. So they just didn't watch their margins close enough, and it just doesn't make sense. So finding other ways to add that value to the gym owners is what we do.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Absolutely.
What?
Ready to talk about his nonprofit?
What's next?
Yes.
What's the plan there, the dream?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, guys. So, again, like I mentioned, Visionary Meals is built around faith, and it's always been a faith-based company. And I've always wanted to, the meal prep is just a platform. It is just a platform to reach people, to make an impact on many people as we can possible. And through that, We have hopes and dreams, and it's actually technically already been started. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Kind of praying on the direction. I haven't been in a place in my life where I'm like, I have this amount of time, this amount of energy to devote it to it. I've been so focused on, building the company and keeping it afloat, X, Y, and Z. But nonprofit Project Visionary is the name of the nonprofit, and the goal behind this nonprofit is honestly undecided. The goal is, I've had thoughts about being able to provide scholarships for individuals that maybe can't go to school. Obviously, I think the no-brainer is, being able to provide food for the individuals that don't know where their next meal is coming from. But it's honestly something that I continue to pray about. It's a direction that I haven't fully decided where there is a huge need, not only in the community that we live in, but the world that we reside in. So, that direction's not here yet. I look forward to that. I would imagine the nonprofit will start kicking off sometime at the end of this year. If not, 2025 is going to be the focus for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
So Angie showed me a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Working out in a gym. I don't know. It must have been on your social media.
Okay.
You working out in a gym. Whose gym is that?
Which, was this a recent one?
There's a flag that says "Lions, not sheep." You know anything about that?
That's one of my friends. Her name is Shay. It's a little private gym. In the Columbus area. We just did a photo shoot there. So yeah, lions, not sheep. I think one of the signs says "Don't be a bitch" or something like that.
That sounds like something from
because one of my which will bring us in. If you have coaches or mentors you follow, Sean Whalen. I don't know if you know who he is. He owns the apparel company Lions, Not Sheep.
So yes, that's what I know.
He's somebody I follow very closely.
Yeah,
so.
Good friends with Andy Frisella.
Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and all those guys. So that's cool. One of his. It's his apparel company now. So he's turned it into something. So do you have anybody that you follow like that? Motivation,
Andy,
coaching?
Definitely Andy Frisella, Ed Milet. I mean, I listen to probably every. Speaking of Andy and Ed, have you guys heard their most recent podcast together?
Yes,
it's so good. I mean, talk about that podcast just resonated me with so much. I was like, holy shit! Like I felt every freaking word inside that podcast. It was so good.
What's your favorite podcast?
Who I listen to? Probably Ed's. Ed's is fire. I mean, it's one of the best.
He's so good and he's caring.
He's so good.
Yeah.
It's funny because if anybody knows, Andy Frisella, Ed Milet are partners.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Very different. Very different.
Extremely.
Yes.
One's a motherfucker and one would never say it.
Yeah. I actually, the reason I love Ed so much, one of my personal missions in this world is to help instill to individuals that, especially in the world of business, but just life, career, building a family, whatever it is, in this life, if you aren't one badass motherfucker, this world will walk all over you, right? Yeah. But in this life, it is our job to also walk as one tough dude or woman, but also walk with love and walk with compassion. And I think Ed does such a good job portraying that. That is a dude that I would not mess with, but that is also a dude that I would call if I'm going through some shit. Yeah. Now, Andy, he's the one to be like, stop being a bitch, get your shit together, right? But Ed's going to be like, all right, why are you being a bitch? But hey, let me put my arm around you. Let's talk about this. What's going on? And I think that's what we need to do. Too many entrepreneurs nowadays.
Ed's the dad, Andy's the big brother.
Yes, exactly.
Shut the fuck up and go.
Exactly. Too many entrepreneurs nowadays, they'll walk with too hard, right? Instead of, or there's people that are walk too soft. I'm like, you're just soft now. So trying to marry both of those emotions, like you can be a badass dude, but you also can walk with love and compassion. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's cool. That's my mission every day, is to trying to show people that you can do both.
Yep. See, my favorite podcast, I'm actually re-listening to it right now, was the MFCEO project.
Okay. Who was this by?
That's Andy Frisella.
Okay, I don't think I've seen this.
If you go back, you got to go deep, like side B of his podcast. Okay. Do you listen to his podcast now?
Here and there. Yep, here and there.
He's changed it. He's got a lot of politics and a lot of stuff. And I just don't.
The current one.
I don't want to listen to
hard AF or what's
there. Real AF.
Excuse me, yeah.
It started, he was the MFCEO. It's called the MFCEO Project. It's still on that podcast channel.
Okay.
You just got to scroll all the way to episode number 1.
Number 1.
So it's good. Like the first 3 years, it was all business, entrepreneurship, being a badass.
Yeah.
And
I'll have to check it out.
I'm re-listening to it. Now it's, he does a lot of the world stuff and globe and politics. Yeah. And I just can't.
I don't really get into that shit either. I mean, I get why
I agree with everything he says, but I just can't hear it every day.
I mean, I feel like he feels called to someone needs to say it.
Yeah.
That's what he's
doing.
And
he literally says, I hate doing it.
I
hate doing that show, but somebody
Didn't he say it in that latest
He did.
I think he did, yeah.
He did with Ed, yeah.
So that's, if you go all the way back, and it's like from 2015, it's all still relevant, and it's all it's all entrepreneur. I mean, it's just entrepreneur leadership.
I love
that's
that.
everything.
I'll check that out for sure.
Pretty good. That's still my favorite. Like I said, I'm listening. It's probably the third time.
Wow.
I went back deep.
Hell yeah.
We love him. We love Sean. We love Tony Robbins.
Yeah, Tony Robbins is
all the same guys.
Too. He's a dog. Yeah.
What about books? Any particular books?
So, one thing I continue to challenge I always say I love the idea of reading.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, for me, I'm always so go. And just like, it's such a challenge for me to slow down. But
I buy more than I read. That's right.
Yeah, I know, right? And honestly, man, you got some, obviously you got some great, Get a Grip. Get a Grip. You got some good books on the shelf here. The Winners, that's another good one.
There's another little bookshelf back there that you don't see that's got
Traction.
a ton.
Yeah, I mean, I actually own some of these books. I've read a couple, but love the idea. Oh, there's another good one too. Yeah, you guys definitely got some good books. But it's something that's actually like my New Year's resolution. It's like, Josh, you need to be better about reading, because I actually have found myself at this point in time in my growth and career and entrepreneurial career of like, Josh, if you don't continue to sharpen your tools, man, you're going to plateau, right? So I'm like, it's kind of hit me. I'm like, you need to continue to develop yourself. I've been so focused on developing my business and developing my people, but I honestly, like, to be fully transparent, I have felt myself get to like a knowledge plateau, and it's like, okay, it's time to push past that barrier. So yes, it's going to come with getting my nose back in the books, and stuff like that. We as a company actually have a book club that we do every Wednesday. So whoever wants to be a part of it within the organization, before we start our day every Wednesday, we come together for about 30 minutes. We're reading a book, and it's actually called Leadership Not by the Book. It's by the founder and CEO of Hobby Lobby. Fantastic book. It's faith-based, and he just talks about, not only creating and running a successful organization, but creating and running a successful family. And it's just been so good, not only for myself to read, but for my people to be a part of, and just truly encompass the knowledge and insight this book has.
That's a great idea,
yeah, it's
though.
been great. Yeah, it's been great.
I read about, I never read.
Yeah, she didn't.
Did I? I didn't
grow
I
up
got
being a reader
sick.
at all. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I started, we've been doing this since 1998. We've never had another job.
Yeah.
We do websites, marketing, SEO, all that stuff.
Yeah, can you, honestly, I need you guys give me a little update on like what you guys specifically do. I don't fully know.
We started out Cherubini Designs.
Okay.
I was a boat mechanic.
Yeah, okay.
I was a boat mechanic.
Okay.
And we had our first kid. We literally bought a computer before anybody had computers. We bought a computer. Wow. She learned how to do it.
There was one design program out.
Yeah, what was that?
Called Corel Draw.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It was a book about that thick, and she cried when I gave it to her.
I don't like manuals. I'm an artist. I had an art degree, or not a degree, but I had an art background. I had a scholarship to Ohio State in fine arts, and so I loved designing. And when he bought me that, he's like, "Oh, I got you the program that's out there." And I looked at that book, and I'm like, "Oh shit," because I can't learn by reading.
She literally learned by just doing it. Didn't read a book at all.
I have to
before YouTube, all that stuff.
Then I cried, and then went to work for a local internet service provider here, and then
taught you a little.
Yeah, they taught me just a little, and then they laid me off because I was the part timer, and I was the last one to get hired, so they laid me off at Christmas. And at that point, he was at his job, and we had Chase, the oldest, and I'm like, I don't want to go back. I was a manager at Jenny Craig. I'm like, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm like, oh shit, I got to do this. So I did friends and family sites, and then I had Chase on my arm basically, and I went
sales
local.
Calls, holding a baby.
Sales call. I love that.
How could
Car
they say
dealerships is where we started. That's how I started.
Yeah.
Because I knew that was a type of business that we could go month after month and take pictures and put it on the website.
It was like within a year, she's like, I'm doing all I can do. What do you want to do? I'm like, I sold my business, and we've been here ever since. So I mean, it's just we do
and
websites.
I just did websites for any business. I mean, back then, back in what was that? 98, 2000. There weren't a lot of people on the internet. Yeah. I mean, to tell you how this was when we started, it was only Yahoo. Jeez. And to get on a page, you had to go to that page or that category that you wanted to appear in Yahoo, and you submitted it there. And I'm not kidding. When we did ours, there was maybe 2 other things. I mean, that's how, oh my God, that dates us really bad.
Well,
really
it was before YouTube, before Google, before Facebook. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's how we started. And then, you know, I didn't have a business background and I just started learning shit. So that was, that's what we do. And
crazy.
I was never a reader. And, you know, that's what we were talking about. I just started
and
audiobooks,
we've taught ourselves.
Yeah.
So I've
made a ton of mistakes.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
been through every.
Still sitting here doing it.
Yep.
So
we went from websites. We started websites and graphic design, to then when he got into it, it started becoming. He's a researcher. I'm not. Yeah. He is. Yeah. So he learned and has done really, really well with Google Ads and Facebook ads. Yeah. He's learned all of that. Nice. So then we had to learn that stuff because our clients, who we host as well, then, you know, they'd be requesting all these things that were coming out. I mean, there was something new coming out left and right. So we're like, we don't want to lose our people. So we had to figure it out and find out how to do things. And that's what we did. Yeah. To now we have a
pivot and adapt.
Marketing CRM that goes into our websites and stuff like that. So that's what we
congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially for doing as long as you guys have done. Yeah, it keeps you home. But like
25 years.
25 years. Wow. Like,
and the internet. It just doesn't even
so
seem.
much adaptation has come from that. I can't imagine.
Oh, and we've gone through. when 9/11 hit. Number one, we remember exactly where we were. You were hunting, and I was
actually, believe it or not.
I was sitting on the bed with one of the kids, and when they were real little, and I mean, we've gone through. That was a huge pivot because as soon as that happened, we lost. We had like 18 car dealers at that point between around here and surrounding counties and Columbus. We dropped to half pretty much right after that.
From 9/11.
Yeah, because no one was buying no one was doing anything, and no one was buying cars.
2008, everybody shut down, stopped.
Yeah,
and then you had cars.com and cars.com and Auto Traders. The big companies started to come in and started to infiltrate the smaller markets.
Hey, we'll do your website for free.
We couldn't compete with it.
Turn around, they start charging them more than
so
we were charging them.
Pivot.
Yep. It's the name of the game. And it's business. It's always where are you pivoting to?
So where are you pivoting to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in the next few years for Josh and Visionary?
Yeah. Well, let me actually just touch a little bit more on the roofing side of things and how that even ties up, because people are always like, Josh, like meal prep roofing, how does it tie in? That's true. Right?
Well, we have some roofers, so we know what selling roofs can do.
Yes, I'm sure you do then. I've always said, Visionary Meals, it is my purpose. It is what I am passionate about. But I've always been building the company with the whole hit by bus theory. So if Josh gets hit by a bus tomorrow, is this company fully operational? And, honestly, to this day, it basically is. I've put the people in place to continue to grow this company and really operate it. I'm there for operational type things, leadership, and obviously being the visionary. Being the visionary. But I have an amazing team that I just adore and love so much. Of the most hardworking group of people that I've ever met. But with that being said, I've actually, to this day, believe it or not, I have not taken one penny from my company. We just hit way over $500,000 this past year. But the reason I've not paid myself is because I want to put my people in a position for lifelong success.
That's fantastic.
Making a generational impact on top of a top-tier experience for our customers. And so because of that, well, I obviously have to support myself, of course. Yeah. So since I've been building the company to be, operational, where I don't necessarily have to be in everything, it has allowed myself to have the time, not only to, I'm to the point where I can work on my business and not in my business, right? Yeah. But it has also allowed me time to create other avenues of income. So I had an opportunity arise in the roofing industry, like I touched on, where a company was being started. I actually knew the guy. He was like, hey, man, do you have a couple hours a week here and there? You're looking to make a little bit of extra money, kind of painted the picture of what kind of money. And I'm like, say less, I can make this happen. So my first year working, with the company, I ended up being one of our top reps. This past year, I was not only the top rep at the company, but I was like top 10 in the country for sales in the roofing industry. Nice. So I was not only running this this company that was growing Visionary Meals, but I was also killing it. I had a great opportunity. I'm a hustler. Like, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to hustle my ass off.
Knocking doors?
Knocking doors, baby. Knocking doors.
Really?
Yeah. So, door to door. That's all it is. Knocking doors. And ended up, having a very, very successful year in the roofing industry. But really, the roofing industry for me, it's a vehicle. It is a tool that I use to support myself and some to support my company. So, speaking of the headquarters that we're in, I was able to do improvements in this space due to the income that I was able to create in the roofing industry, right? So I was able to flush that company. I just was able to purchase this vacuum seal machine where really on paper, Visionary Meals probably can't afford, but with my support in that, I can make this happen because I know it's going to progress us forward. So it is just a vehicle. It is a tool that I use in order to support myself while I'm growing what I'm truly passionate about. I look forward to the day that I don't necessarily have to do it. But it
also gets you out there.
It also gets me out there. It's a great point, Angie. I tell it all the time. With Visionary, I'm constantly dealing with headaches, putting out fires, and things that conduct of running a business, but also just having employees. And when I am in doing the roofing sales side of things, it's selfishly I worry about me, myself, and I. I get to go out there. I get to have one-on-one conversations with individuals. I get to help them out due to any damage that they might have on their roof. Get them a roof paid through by their insurance company. Create relationships and just hustle and just have fun. Honestly, I love
selling roofs. Like we said, do you know Heath Redmond?
Heath Redmond.
AML. He's a buddy. It's who Kip works with a lot.
Okay.
So he's one. He did our roof this year. We
had Redmond from Valet? I know.
No.
I feel like there's a Redmond.
He's from.
Did you go to Valet?
No, my old man did though. My old man went to Valet. Yeah. Did you guys go to Valet? Because we're in their backyard. No. Okay.
Our kids did.
Okay.
I'm Heath. She's Northridge. Okay. So we're county kids. But
nice.
You didn't play hockey.
Yeah. No hockey.
Okay. I told you that he wasn't.
I know, but
I
know there was a Hayes link.
Yeah, so Hayes,
from Granville.
Correct. Yeah,
I feel like
my cousin.
I thought there was another one.
Yeah, really? Hayes is my cousin. He played hockey.
Yeah. He played with our oldest son.
Okay, nice.
So,
yeah.
I didn't know if there was another one or not.
I'm sure there's a lot of.
Felt like there was.
A lot of kids we know that graduated with you.
Well, I mean, if you guys are hockey fans, you probably know the Perini family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Gabe.
Which one?
Gabe. I grew up with Gabe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gabe was...
What was he in the...
He would have been the youngest. So it was Gabe,
then that's who Chase would have played with.
Joe.
Chase played with Gabe.
Yeah.
I think Chase, probably when Gabe was a senior, Chase was probably a sophomore.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he would have played with Gabe then.
And
who was
Hoffman?
Oh, yeah, Hoffman.
What's his
Jake.
name?
Jake
Hoffman.
Yep,
Those
Jake
two.
Hoffman.
They were like the seniors, and they kind of took Chase under their wing.
That's cool.
In his first year. So.
Yeah, I love that.
Stewart.
We knew lots of Granville.
Stewart family. Drew.
Yeah,
we played lacrosse too, so we had lots of. Our kids both started lacrosse at Granville. So lots of kids,
they played
I helped
there
coach
first.
a little bit, and then I started the one out here in Valley. So
did you? Nice.
So we have lots of
Granville
buddies.
It was either we moved to Granville, it was either we uproot and moved to Granville, so
just
Chase and Blake could play lacrosse.
Yeah.
Or we started out here, and we decided. I mean, either way, it was going to be a lot of work. Really, it was going to be
still going. So
nice.
Good.
Yeah,
it is
don't have anything to do with
going.
it anymore, but it's still going. So
Good.
That's awesome.
Good. Successful then. Yeah, love that.
So,
what did we not ask you that we should have?
Yeah.
What did you not ask me that you should have, man? I don't know. I feel like we've covered a handful of things.
Been broad.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good conversation. Do you guys ever get asked questions? Just curious.
Yeah, sometimes. What do you want to know?
Ask you a question?
We got 25 years. We may not be able to.
I was about to say, touch on. I mean, you guys been married 25 years?
We have been married probably 28.
I think so. We're terrible at this.
Actually, this is going to be 29.
Is it really?
In a couple weeks, by the way.
That's right.
We work this far apart, and it's like every now and then, like one day at noon, I'm like, oh yeah, happy anniversary. She's like,
we are like best friends.
I love that.
And our friends get mad because they're like, do you guys ever fight? I'm like, no, there's no point.
Tell me about that. Selfishly for myself, but also for the listeners. Like,
people hear us. We argue a lot, or it sounds like we're arguing, but it's about business all the time.
Yeah,
we should do this, or this guy should do that,
or I told you this, or I told you that.
I told you shouldn't have done that.
It's just passion.
And it is. But we don't really fight.
No.
I'm pretty laid back.
What's the secret sauce to a healthy marriage?
Pick the right one.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, don't settle.
Retweet. Yeah. Retweet.
You know.
Don't settle. That's what
I tell my boys from the guy's perspective, first date, especially now, first date needs to be at a water park or a lake. Throw her ass in the water, see what comes up, see what kind of sea monster comes up. Yeah. Now they're all injected.
Sea monster?
Seriously. I mean,
I guess.
Look at Instagram.
Oh, look,
they're all fake.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys. I feel bad for you guys.
It's tough out here in the streets.
Blake will say the same thing because Chase is married. Emmy's got our daughter, our youngest. Yeah. She's got a boyfriend already too. But poor Blake, he's just like
it's hard because he works here,
and he's not a drinker. You know, he's hardworking. He's a great entrepreneur with his video and photography work. Yeah. He's phenomenal. They're busy. They do downhill mountain biking too. Yeah. That's what they're in now. He's a professional mountain biker. So, he's
on the road a lot. So, I mean, he just went to Mexico for Sea-Doo. Then he was just out at 2 weeks in California for Can-Am. And then he's getting ready to go to Miami Boat Show for Sea-Doo. I mean, he's just running all over the place. But he doesn't have time to mess around when he's there. He's there to work.
Hustling.
Yeah. And all he sees are girls posting, risque pictures in the bar. Okay, skanks.
Seriously, he's not wrong. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you scroll, it's just that's the problem with dating nowadays. It's like the options seem endless, and so you say don't settle, but no one ever settles because they keep scrolling oh, she seems better than the last, or he seems better than the last, right? It's like,
and you're looking at the highlight reel,
and it's all it is, the highlight reel.
And it ain't real.
There was a girl I was seeing a while ago, and we went on a couple dates, and I kept stressing her. I was like, hey, I'm someone that doesn't really care about makeup. Please, I prefer honestly a faceless face.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I say throw her ass in the water, see what comes out.
See what comes out.
I don't care if you wear it or not, but if you're covering up, looks aren't that important, but you're faking that.
Exactly. That's why we were hanging out a couple times. I was like, hey, you don't always have to put a face on when I come over. Yeah. I don't care about that shit. And but it's tough. It's just nowadays you never know what you're gonna get. And on the flip side, I feel bad for these young bucks because, even I talk about jailbait, shit. I'm not even kidding. Some of these chicks that are 16, they look 24. Yep. It's fucked up.
I would say, what we've learned is we both had the same entrepreneurial. We both I served and I was a bartender and stuff like that.
I knew in high school I would never work for anybody.
We just both had that same mentality.
Yeah.
So we meshed that way.
Yeah.
And which worked really well with us owning a business.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I was trying to pull him one way. We were doing this together. We were trying to build it together. And we do that all the time. We're trying to build things up together.
Yeah.
So that is really huge. You have to be on the same page. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be. I'm
in a lot of
constantly.
Entrepreneur groups, and that comes up. And how do I get my wife on board? Jesus Christ!
I was going to say, I feel like if
she's not on board, you're in trouble, man.
I feel like it's more rare to work together. It usually doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fact that you guys have found a way to make it work.
We don't separate our accounts. Yeah. We don't do any of that shit. We don't have me paying for this and him paying for that. Yeah. It's all one.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm glad our kids have seen that too.
For sure. It's important.
And then, with Blake, he's got very high expectations.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And they're very independent. All of our kids are very independent. Yeah. And so, anybody he finds has got to be the same way. He wants them to be independent. He cannot stand girls that are, he's going to kill me for talking about this kind of stuff. But
it's all from the heart.
But he'll come running down the steps any second.
Yes. Well, he's the same as even our daughter and Chase was.
They don't put up with the shit.
They don't want somebody that's going to give them shit for going and doing stuff. Correct. It's like they mountain bike. And our daughter-in-law, Hannah, who's part of the company, she has never cared of the stuff that Chase wanted to do on the side. Yeah. And I think Blake's looking for the same thing, as someone that's independent themselves and they're not needy.
Yeah, and that's tough to find nowadays. I see it with people all the time, people that are in my circle, and just you're settling. You have someone in your life because you feel alone. I'm it sounds whatever, but people need to learn to love themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Seriously. And that was part of my issue, because I was in a 10-year relationship that led to a marriage. And after that, I jumped into another 2-year relationship, and I've been single since. But the season of singleness that I've been in has been the best years of my life.
Yeah.
Really?
It's been the best years of my life because I've learned who Josh is and what Josh wants, right? Before then, I didn't know because I was too worried about intermingling it with, with the partner that I was with at the time. And I was so young and I didn't know what I wanted with my life. And now I've put myself in the position like, Josh, you love yourself, you care for yourself, you know what you want, you're going to go attract that now.
I was going to say, this is when you're going to find
I
something.
literally had just mentioned that, and it comes from some of my mentors, and they listen to, who Grant Cardone is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Him and Sean Whalen, they both say they say, call it woo-woo, call it, whatever you want, the law of attraction bullshit. Yeah. He's like, they literally wrote it down. This is the woman I want. And they both said,
manifest that shit.
Yep, that's what they said.
I'm a huge believer in manifestation.
Grant Cardone had to call her like 27 times. You ever heard his story about?
I haven't. I would have.
She didn't want to have. He's short. He's like 5'7". She was a actress, model, or something. And he's like, when he moved, he's like, he was a real playboy in L.A. making tons of money. Yeah. And then he moved to get out of his comfort zone. And he's like, I met her at the airport.
Wow.
And I knew right then that's who I wanted.
Yeah.
And he called her, and he goes, this is voicemail time, no texting. It's it was like 27 times without a return.
No shit.
Yeah. Not like that. Over and over and over, but like months,
That's
hey,
ballsy.
this is Grant.
Yeah.
Because she said, he's too short. I'm not interested. Yeah. And he sold her ass. And, now they're both giant.
Yeah.
He said that's what I put. He's like, it had to be a strong.
7 phone calls.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like nowadays you get like blocked. You get
a
restraining order.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think it was 27 within 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit you guys have to put up with too.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, even social media, like people block people left and right. It's just childish. It's just games. That's all it is. Just games.
Yeah.
Stupid shit.
I know. Yeah. I guess those are the only. We try to date when we can.
We work a lot, so
yeah, we do work a lot, but we love it. I mean, that's the hard part.
The hardest part, like everybody tells us, must be nice. Working for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you've heard that. Huh?
Oh yeah, it's great.
You don't do anything. Yeah.
It's great working for 10 years, 7 days a week,
and if
70
anybody
hours.
has, I love the fact that we do work from home and we can make our own schedule for the most part.
Correct.
But it's always, if something catastrophic happens.
We tell them it is very nice not having to clock in.
Yeah.
But don't forget, we never fucking clock out.
That's good. It's such a good way to say it.
It's just the way it is.
That is so true.
And it's what we talk about. This conversation we're having, this is what we talk about with our kids. Yeah. We can be in the car driving to a hockey game back in the day. We're talking about, this restaurant should have done, why aren't they marketing this way?
Yeah.
Why this?
Why this? Why that?
Emmy just told me last night she went to buy something. She's like, the cashier was rude, and she's like, I'm there to spend money, and they're being bitches. Is what she said.
I don't get it.
That's just the way we talk. We talk about business, entrepreneur stuff, and
how it affects life.
Yeah, it's so true. It applies to everything. It was actually on that podcast, the Ed Milet and Andy podcast, and it really hit home for me. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but if someone were to ask you, would you do it again? What would your answer be?
100%.
Sure.
Why so?
We've a big part of our belief was that we wanted at least one of us home to raise our kids. Yeah. And that's just we were both raised by someone being at home, and
when we started it was hard because she made more money.
Yeah.
And I was part owner in a boat shop, and I wasn't happy there, and we weren't making any money.
Yeah.
But that was she's going to take care of the kids. Yep. That was the way it was, and I was going to figure it out. And we had big dreams with that. I was only there for 3 years, and then sold it out. Which was just giving it away, basically.
Some people have to, they have to do it. They have no choice, and we get that. But it was our choice to raise our kids, and we wanted to see those little things that would happen. We wanted to be a part of it,
Absolutely.
and we wanted.
We
to
literally
see it,
have never paid for a babysitter.
Wow.
No, because his mom was.
We
really
had
close.
Family,
and right on the way to the hockey rink or soccer.
I think one of them went to daycare just because we thought we needed to acclimate him with other kids. When he just came home got sick, like screw
constantly.
That. Yeah, that's good. I love hearing that for you because believe it or not, when I heard that on that podcast, I almost had the opposite answer.
Really?
It was like if someone asked me, Josh, would you do this again? And I'm still very, very early in my career, and I think the answer would probably still be yes. But part of me would be like, fuck.
I know.
I don't know because when you start a business, yes, you might talk to individuals and they're going to tell you, it's going to be a grind. You're not going to be able to pay yourself right away, la-di-da-di-da. But there is truly nothing out there that can paint the picture of what it entails to start your own company until you do it.
Yeah.
And the things that I've had to sacrifice, the things that I've missed out on, the things that I've gone through, the stresses that I having employees, I have 12 people on payroll, and I go to bed every night, they depend on me.
Right.
That would be
hustle,
hard.
my grind, my success, our success is dependent on how they take care of their family, how they pay their bills. And when, there's times when every business has ebbs and flows, right? And there's times when you're in that dip and you're looking at shit, you're just like, man, this is stressful, because that shit all falls back on you, right? And so yes, I think the answer my answer would probably be yes, just because I know that's what I'm here to do. That is what I'm born to do. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But would I want to? Probably not.
It's hard. It's hard because for me, I always said, we were here for our kids.
Yeah.
We weren't always present because we were on this computer and working. They'd come home from school. My office used to be upstairs right when you walk in the door. So, we'd, hey, how's your day? But we were still there working. I think they probably think we worked more. We weren't there as much, but I was there. I coached my kids in thousands and thousands of practices. I coached them in soccer. I coached them, all three of them in soccer. Yeah. I coached them in hockey, in lacrosse, and, all the way up through high school. So, I wouldn't have missed that. That was the whole point.
I love that.
We could have made a lot more money by not being here all the time.
Yeah. Or by having a babysitter.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
Do you think having what you've built with Visionary has made you sell more roofs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't even do it intentionally, but when I work with these clients, it'll just come up naturally in conversation. This is what I do full time there. And, it's always funny to me because, roofing is it's just roofing. There's nothing luster about it. But when I bring up my company, they're like, whoa, tell me more. Dude. They're like, wow, I want to hear about this. And I'm like, I'm here to sell you a roof right now. They're like, I don't care about that. Tell me about your company. I'm like, okay. So then I go and,
it makes you more personable.
It does. And honestly, I've had so many roofing customers that have ordered from Visionary, and it's just been really cool. So in a way, they have intermingled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep track of that?
I don't. I probably should. But
that would be cool.
That would be cool analytic. I would agree.
We always say, we try to tell our clients, people buy from people.
Yeah.
You got to get with social media. It's one of the things that we're trying to force ourselves to do, because we're not out a lot. We post a lot of shit, but not, I'm my Facebook is all business stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really friend stuff, but people got to see you. Yeah. And there's so many faceless websites that don't. I saw, you guys, you have your team on there. It's real people.
Yeah.
And I think even with roofs, it's some dude knocked on my door and said, I need a roof.
Well, that's why we put on any of our roofers, we definitely have their picture on the front.
Yeah.
And then Perry, who does the power washing, I made sure that I've got them on on their social profile, on their social share pic. It's on the website, so people know him when he comes.
Yeah, have to be. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's so easy. You just show them a little empathy.
That's all it is.
If you care a little bit about the roof, it's not that hard.
It's not hard. Yeah, just being personable. Yeah, offering. That's at the end of the day, I'm not really there to sell a roof. I'm there to sell them value.
Yeah.
What I mean? I'm there to just bring you value as a customer. And if you got nothing wrong with your roof, great. Wash our hands. On to the next. But I'm here if you need me.
We literally somebody we kind of know. It was windstorm or whatever this spring. Almost every house in this neighborhood got replaced this year.
Yeah, I noticed that when I pulled in.
All of them.
Yeah. A lot of new roofs.
And somebody from Pickerington did most of them.
Yeah, nice.
But ours, I actually knew a guy, kind of, and I said, hey, it was, we had one shingle off. So I'm like, hey, we got a shingle off. I need an estimate. And he came and he's like, yep, you probably need to have somebody out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it.
It ended up, we met, it was like, okay, he didn't mark anything, didn't say, he was like, yeah, there's some damage up there. You need to have an adjuster out.
Okay, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even remember how I got.
We ended up with a client at that time, and I think we called him. It was Heath.
But how did we how did we originally?
I think you called him. I think you must have seen something.
Maybe I did, or
was
on
it
Facebook.
Kip, or it was Kip?
I don't know.
I think Kip was after. Anyway,
yeah.
If we kind of used it, hey, we build websites. You don't have a website, or your website sucks, and we
yeah.
might need a roof. Why don't you come out? And,
I love that.
So we met.
At 3 Tigers.
Well,
nice.
well, the first time I think he did our roof first. He looked at it, but he took care of us.
Yeah.
He contacted the insurance company. Held our hand.
Yep.
But then we said, he came back to us. Hey, I'm looking for a website.
That's perfect.
So we went to 3 Tigers in Granville because he said, hey, I want to meet face to face, sit down and talk. I want to know who I'm talking to. 3 hours later, and 5 or 6 beers later, we were good friends.
Yeah, that's how it works.
He's still a friend and a client that right now.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
That was, it was weird because the guy I knew didn't take care of me.
Yeah.
The guy we didn't know said, hey, this is how it's going to work. This is what damage you got. Yep. And it ended up, he knew his shit because he said there's only one off, but they're not going to be able to match it.
Correct.
This is what's going to happen.
It's
and
too old.
he laid it out, and it's 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh, easy. That's a home run.
We got a whole new roof. Thankful for him. And the other guy just
good stuff.
Yep.
Jason. Who's your guys' insurance company?
Erie.
Oh, they're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, Erie's, they're good to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned.
As long as it's not State Farm or Allstate.
I was going to say, we've learned State Farm never pays. But our friend who we referred him, the power washer, because he had this house is 20 years old, same thing. He had like 20 shingles off.
Oh, wow.
And he told him, he's like, you're at State Farm, here's what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. They're going to come in just under the deductible. And they did. And somehow his sister was his agent. And they came in and said, we're not paying for it. They'll do whatever. It was like $800.
Yeah.
And it was exactly the way he laid it out.
Yeah.
Somehow the adjuster didn't do something and closed
the claim.
So he had to open it up again, and they covered it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
He's like,
you have to pay 2 deductibles, did he?
No, but
Okay,
he said, because that's the first roof I've ever had State Farm pay for.
Yeah, it's I've had a lot, but like it's rare. They're a fight. Most contractors, especially door knocking, if someone says they have State Farm or Allstate, they're like, all right, you're fine. Yeah. I'm next.
Looks good from here.
You're good. Never mind. The storm wasn't that bad.
Too much trouble.
It's a lot of headache. I mean, I'll still pursue it, especially if the shingle's like discontinued or something like that. But yeah, I mean, they're called all fake for a reason. So
Really,
yeah, we had
all fake.
Erie was great to us. No questions. Took care of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've been happy with that.
So you got anything else for us?
I don't have anything.
I think we've
guys.
covered.
Yeah, I think we
did
covered
good.
Went all over.
That was a solid show.
We don't usually dig in too much, but I usually know him a little bit. I didn't know you, so.
Well, just don't worry. I know this might be the first, but it's not the last. Like I said, once our studio's live, I'm going to have you guys out there.
Oh, I want to see the place anyway.
Yeah, we'll chop it up.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I would love to have you guys out there.
Well, you're definitely our type of dude, so.
You guys are my type of people. I
like
appreciate
everything
you.
you're doing.
You guys, I look up to both of you for real. Like you guys are just hustlers and just got a beautiful marriage and beautiful people.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys having me out here and on the show.
Appreciate you saying that.
I'm going to order some of your food, too.
get
I have to do that.
You got to. Yes.
So I think that's all we got.
Yep.
I guess last thing I can talk about, I keep saying this, people like you.
Yeah.
Would you do a meetup and hang out?
Yeah. What do you like? Elaborate. What do you mean?
I just keep. You ever done networking meetings?
Yeah.
I hate them.
I've been a part of them. Yeah. I've never hosted one, but
yeah, we've gone to several, and it's there's nothing against the guys. It's usually real estate agents and insurance agents.
Yes.
They're not business owners.
Correct.
So they're not. They're hustling.
Yes.
But everyone we go to, it's hey, buy my shit.
Yeah.
And I know you got shit for sale, but I ain't buying your shit. But you should buy my shit.
Right.
So it's just this.
Yes.
Let's meet for coffee.
Yeah, for real.
So I just think there's got to be something just hanging out.
I agree. Yeah.
Drinking a beer or bourbon, smoking a cigar, if that's what you're into, and just get to know. Not necessarily doing business, but that's the way business gets done. You get to know people, and
that's all it is. Relationship building.
I just think it would be
There's
a good
nothing
time
like that
because we
in
don't have a whole lot of entrepreneurial friends our age. We have a lot of people. We know a lot, but we've got hundreds of clients, but we don't hang out.
Yeah, it would be cool to do a little local get together, something like that.
Didn't you just do that?
We had a community event. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Angie. We had a big happy hour.
Yeah.
There in Gahanna, we hosted at a beautiful venue, but we brought about
for
For Visionary,
Okay.
yeah. We brought about 80 to 100 people together. We hosted, we provided.
Was that for the 5-year?
No, actually, it was just a community event. We did one the previous year. It was like a rooftop event, and we said we're going to level it up this year and did it bigger and better. And we just had
You're already
about
doing
100 people out to the community. Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah, so I gave a speech, and people ate good food, good conversation, good drinks, and they were on their way.
That's good. It
was fun.
I like it.
It was fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
Just a way to get face to face.
Yeah.
We've got so many, even clients that we never meet.
Yeah.
I know. We're online, and we talk to them on the phone, and send them an email every now and then. She meets more than I do, but
well, I'd like to have more like in the Keys or
I know, right?
like that that I had to go to.
the dive captain specialist. Hey.
Yeah.
I bet you need a website.
Well, cool. I appreciate everything you're doing, everything you said.
Yeah,
It was a good little chat, and if there's ever anything you need, just ask.
You guys as well. Definitely. Everyone, thanks for listening. And guys, if you ever want to bring me back on the show, I'm always excited to chop it up again. And like I said, I'll have you guys back on my podcast soon.
Absolutely.
How can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, you guys can find me. You can find myself personally on josh.link.visionary on Instagram. Visionary for the company, visionary.meals. And then, of course, our website, visionarymeals.com.
Nice.
Boom.
That's a great way to end.
That was an easy hour and 35 minutes. Not too bad.
Not at all.
It's easy. It's not the 4 hours, but
4 hours. 4 hour shows are long. I don't know if I've ever done a 4 hour show. You guys have done 4 hours?
No. Jason was, when we did Jason, that one last.
Thanks for listening to the Local Vibes Podcast, brought to you by localvibes.us, where we help small business owners like you build the ultimate system that generates more leads, phone calls, and most importantly, more customers. Join our community by going to localvibes.us and add your business to our directory. You'll also find live discussions, tips, podcasts, videos, and just plain real talk on how you too can be more successful online.